Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the Wildcat Sports Network. We are here at the Ortho Carolina Sportsplex in Pineville, North Carolina, as your Johnson & Wales men's soccer team will face USC-Sumter. They are the Fire Ants. We got a good one here tonight. Your Wildcats remain undefeated on the season, 13-0-1. Meanwhile, the Fire Ants are riding a 6-game losing streak, and they sit at 2-9. We're just about moments away from both teams taking the field for our national anthem and tonight's starting lineups. Your Wildcats are in white, and the Fire Ants are in red. We will turn it on down to public address announcer Christopher Plano.
To the Fire Ants of the University of South Carolina, Sumter. I am your public address announcer, Chris Plano, welcoming you to the Ortho Carolina Sportsplex. As both teams' starting lineups and the referees make their way out to the center field area, we ask you at this time, ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remove your hats as we honor our country and the men and women who serve it with the playing of this evening's national anthem. The Fire Ants are coached by Joel Bristol Jr. Now, Wildcat fans, get on your feet and greet your Johnson & Wales University Wildcats! Number 2, junior from Bedford, New York, JT from G. North Carolina, Kennedy Little. Wearing number 15, a freshman from Benson, North Carolina, Gavin Brundage. Number 22, a sophomore from Statesville, North Carolina, Jason Rosales. And number 24, a freshman from Cornelius, North Carolina, Connor Savageau. Your Wildcats are coached by James Jiswicki. He's assisted by Kev Summers. Ladies and gentlemen, your referees for tonight's men's soccer match are Justice Agnio, and your linesmen are Larry Williams and Chris Edmond.
But now we want to lean back a little bit, so that way the ball can drop with that ball, that way that ball can rise a little bit. Okay? Yeah, guys, yep. Good job.
All right, that was public address announcer Christopher Plano with your starting lineups tonight. Again, on the left side of your screen in white are your Johnson & Wales Wildcats. And on the right of your screen is the USC-Sumter Fire Ants. They are in red. Wildcats will be going left to right on your screen, and the Fire Ants will be going right to left. Again, if you missed the starting lineups for both teams, for the Fire Ants at goalie, Leo Faraya and Diego Somoza, Matias Rodriguez, Marco Morris, Andreas Rodriguez, Edward Acevedo, Markel Bellamy, Gavin Potamry, Grant Wilbur, and Blake Byred. And for your Wildcats at goalkeeper tonight, Kennedy Little, also JT Fusey, Chance Wingington, Monir Bascaron, Jalen Jackson, Sam Fanning, Tito Villanueva, Amani Washington, Gavin Brundage, Jason Rosales, and Connor Savageau. Fire Ants will start this one. Leading the charge for your Wildcats in the front line, they'll have Jalen Jackson along with Tito Villanueva. So the Fire Ants kick it in, and it's sent in deep down in Wildcat territory as Fusey heads it down. Rosales trying to control it now over to Savageau. Played back to Wingington, over to Fusey. Savageau over to Wingington again. Middle of the back line defense there. Pass right to the Fire Ants player, quickly taken away by Bascaron, and quickly onto the far side of the field. Now the ball rolls over to that far corner on the top of your screen. Kicked off the head of a Fire Ants player. Still bounces around, eventually played down in the middle of the field. Jackson controls it. Cuts up field. Pass is picked off there by Rodriguez. Savageau chases down, keeps it in. Savageau plays it ahead. Villanueva trying to chase it down. And it goes to the goalkeeper, Faraya. So Fire Ants control it, bringing over midfield now in the Wildcat territory. Off the player's knee, Bascaron looking to control it. Washington over there on the far sideline, right in front of that Wildcat bench. Plays it in. Fusey controls it now. Brundage kicks it to the other side of the field, over to Wingington. Wingington now middle to Fanning. Fanning to Wingington. And cut off there by Amores, but Fanning quickly gets it back over to Bascaron. Works his way in the middle, soft pass, easily taken by Acevedo. And played deep in the Wildcat territory. Fusey able to cut that pass off. Still has it, tripped up. Get a foul there on the Fire Ants player. .42:50 to play in this first half. Nobody's scored yet. So still 0-0. And the ball's at the top of your screen now on the left side. Wildcats controlling it now in their back line with Fusey. Brundage looking ahead for Villanueva. Touch pass leading Washington. Washington and Fanning both over there. Bascaron there as well. Wildcats working their way in the middle now. Fanning controls it. Had Savageau streaking ahead. Savageau now looking to center it right in front of the goal, past the goalkeeper and out of bounds. So Leo Faria back to kick it for USC-Sumter. And he'll look to send this one over on the left side. Kicks one high, deep just across midfield, headed down by the Wildcats. Villanueva looking to fight off two Fire Ants players. Able to get it to his teammate, Bascaron. And Bascaron working his way to the middle. And he's going to kick it to Fusey back here, switches sides of the field. Gets a little bit of control here for the Wildcats. Over to Wingington. Rosales touch pass ahead to Savageau. Savageau working around the USC-Sumter player, trips, but the ball's kicked out of bounds off the Fire Ants player, off the foot of Somoza. Wildcats have a throw in here. Savageau to throw it in, right down the line to Wingington on the bottom of your screen here. Savageau right into Rosales. Over to Fanning, middle of the field, stops, turns around, over to Bascaron. Rosales back to Fanning. Fanning works his way to the middle now, looking to cross up the Fire Ants player. Trips. Wildcats still control it as Rosales slips. And Somoza gets it ahead for USC-Sumter. Rodriguez falls right in front of Villanueva. Jackson controls it. Rosales back to Mascara, middle of the field, working his way deep into Fire Ants territory. And it's on the overside to Washington. It kicks one, but quickly scooped up there by the goalkeeper, Leo Faria. And he hits this one high out of the screen. Now down in play. Headed off of Brundage. Brundage falls, but gets back up quickly. Rodriguez gets it to the far side, top of your screen, right in front of the score table. Now, Wildcats quickly swarming Rodriguez over on that far side. Eventually, Rodriguez boosts this one across midfield, and that one kept in bounds by Bellamy. And Bellamy stops, looking to center it. Has Rodriguez there. Pass just a little behind Somoza. Quickly cut off there by Fusey. Great defensive play by JT Fusey. And the Fire Ants player just stopped. Bascaron takes it. Jackson ahead now, looking to leave it for Villanueva. One man to beat. Shoves him out the way, looking to control it still. Able to, looking to get between two Fire Ants players. Jalen touch pass. He falls and he'll be fouled. So Wildcats starting to see a little bit more action here in these past 3 minutes. They'll have a free kick. Jason Rosales to take this one. Just outside the box, about 10 yards to the right of it. Right in about the center of your screen. So Rosales will look to center this one. Pops one high right over the head of everybody and out of bounds. So no harm, no foul there for USC-Sumter. As Farai again will take this kick. And short kick headed off of Bascaron. Back to the back line of the Fire Ants and quickly controlled again by Faria. 38-20 to play in the first half. Still 0-0. That one booted high by Faria. Two Wildcats there, Bascaron and Washington. And eventually Fire Ants control it just over midfield in Wildcat territory. Fusey controls it. And Wildcats now have it on that far sideline, top of your screen. And Wildcats player falls down over there. But the ball is out of bounds, so no foul in the play. So Wildcats will have a throw in there. They get it into. So Washington now touch pass to Bascaron. Back to Washington, looking to center it off the foot of Jackson, out of bounds. Fire Ants with a great defensive stand here in these past 2 minutes that the Wildcats have. A couple chances pretty close to the goal. So Farai again boosts this one high, left side of the field. Headed around, eventually played down by the Wildcats. Villanueva has it. And Brundage comes up from the back line, controls it, gets it to Bescaron, and eventually booted high and back into Wildcat territory by the Fire Ants. So they're just going to let the goalkeeper, Kennedy Little, come up and control this one. Little hasn't seen any action so far here in this first half. Fire Ants have been able to get over midfield, but haven't really gotten it past the box, so Wildcats again control it across midfield now. Washington over to Rosales, back to Fanning, middle. Looking to pop one over here for Savageau, racing down, controls it. He's going to hit it back to Wingington. Savageau and Wingington over here, the two men for the Wildcats in white. 3 Fire Ants players there, and they're going to get Savageau there for the foul, being a little bit touchy. So Farai will come up from the box to take this one. And he sends this one high. Headed off, both players. Heard a head collision there between Savageau and Pottery. Both players are fine as Little pops this one up short to Viscaro, and still in Wildcat territory, slides, but 2 Fire Ants players are there. Rodriguez looks to send one into Morris. Morris now, far corner, looks to center it. Bad pass, 4 Wildcats there, easily control that one. Rosales will just send this one back to Little, who booms it. Villanueva plays it off his foot. And Jackson controls it now, works his way to the middle of the field. Looking to get slide tackled by Rodriguez, falls. And Farai quickly come up to cut the angle off of Jackson. So Fanning again will have it. Rosales works away, leaves one ahead for Villanueva, looking to chase it down on that far line. Looking to get past the player, unable to. Still kept in bounds. Eventually kicked out by Morris. So it'll be a throw in here for Connor Savageau. Quickly into Fanning. Savageau pops one short, and Farai will come up to field that one. It's about 34 minutes to play in this first half. Still no score. Wildcats, though, have plenty of opportunity here. This one's still up in the air, eventually played down by Pottery. Morris now centers one to Rodriguez. Wingington whiffs on the attack there. Fire Ants still control the middle of the field. Now switches it over to the top of your screen, over there in that far corner right in front of the Wildcats bench. 3 Wildcats players there, easily swarm the Fire Ants player. So Mascaro now looking to control the ball. Brundage comes up and gets it ahead to Villanueva. Looking to get past the Fire Ants player and work his way up the sideline. Unable to, so he kicks it back the middle over to Savageau. Savageau leaves it ahead here for Villanueva. Between the legs, looking for Savageau. Would have been a nice pass, but just a little bit behind him. Rosales loses it. Now Pottery working his way up. 3 Wildcats there again. And Fusey will control this one. And Fusey, great defensive play there, getting it out of bounds. And that one off of Rodriguez, feigning to throw it in quickly. Gets it into Savageau. And that one was off the foot of Rosales, between the legs of Morris, out of bounds. Fire Ants throw-in. Nobody really paying attention on that throw-in, so Wildcats quickly get that throw-in back. Mascaro touch pass over to Fanning versus Course, back to Rosales. And off the foot of Rosales. And now Pottery with a chance. Centers it just behind Rodriguez. Eventually controlled there by the Wildcats. Ball looking to go out of bounds on that far corner top of your screen. Finally out of bounds. And they'll say corner kick here for USC-Sumter. Looks like Gavin Pottery to take it for the Fire Ants. So Fire Ants here with their first good opportunity of this first half. Hopefully able to get a good kick here from Pottery. Maybe center this one in front of the net. And a short kick. And this one hopped way out of bounds. So no harm there for the Wildcats. Faria crying at his defensive guys, telling him to step up. Faria clearly seems frustrated back there, still yelling at his players. And Rosales plays this one down. Gets past Rodriguez, able to work it over to that far sideline right in front of the score table to Washington. Now back to Brundage. Brundage looking sideline for Washington. Eventually played back middle over to Fanning. Fanning looking to lead Savageau on this near sideline. Pass just a little bit short. Fire Ants control it off the head. Didn't even know it hit him. There's number 10, Edward Acevedo, looking to streak down the field. The ball bounced right off his head, back of his head. Didn't even know it, so Wildcats control it again. Jackson now working his way through the middle. Quickly played out there by the Fire Ants again. Fire Ants playing good defense on Jackson here tonight. Jackson's had at least 2 bodies around him, if not 3, every time he's across midfield. This one played back into Wildcat territory, quickly headed up by Fusey. This one looking to get chased down by Jackson. But Somoza plays it back to his goalkeeper, and Farai sends this one high. Savageau looking to get it from a Morris. Morris falls, but great recovery there. Keeps it alive. What a recovery by Marco Morris. Somoza right over to Rosales. Now Rodriguez again looked to center it. Quickly cut off there by Amani Washington. Played out by Fusey over to Wingington. Correction, that's Mo Basquero working his way to the middle. Looking to send one high over to Jackson, who was creeping behind the defense. Fanning still has it. Working his way through the middle up almost to the box. And trips, so the Wildcats will have a free kick about 10 yards out the box. Middle of the field, 29 minutes to play in the first half. Another great chance here for the Wildcats. So ball is set, Fanning ready to kick this one. Fanning shot right at the goal. Great save by Faria. Off his hands, just past the goal, out of bounds. Again, great opportunity there for the Wildcats. Even better save by Leo Faria. So score still 0-0, and Jason Rosales now will have a corner kick as that one went out of bounds out the back line. So Rosales, if you can see between the 2 goals in the top corner of your screen, centers this one high. Played out by the Fire Ants. Great defense again. And a missed kick as Faria comes up to play it. So again, your Wildcats in white, Fire Ants in red. Wildcats going left to right, Fire Ants right to left. This one went out of your screen for a little bit. It was kicked so high, but eventually played down. 2 Wildcats there. That's a Morris looking to center it. Shoots one high, but Fusey there again. Fusey having a heck of a game on that back line. Fusey directing that defensive line back there very well tonight, as that back line is without Danny Kearney tonight, as he's dealing with a little ankle issue. So again, Fire Ants now just over midfield in the Wildcat territory. 27 to go here in this first half. Centers it off the head of Fusey. Rosales unable to get to that one, so Fire Ants still have it. Rodriguez shot at goal way wide, and that one hits the chicken wire. So Little will look to send this one deep. Sends it high over than that left side. Headed up by Mascaron deep into Fire Ants territory. Quickly played out of bounds, and that ball's over the fence. So it'll be, looks like Mascaron to throw it in. And that ball again out of bounds. This time it'll be a Fire Ants throw in. Top of your screen. Quickly thrown in down the line there. Over the head of both Wingington and the Fire Ants player, but now Mascaron controls it. Middle of the field. Mascaron looking to work his way up. Mascaron with 2 goals the past 2 games. Mascaron looking to do it himself. Eventually played off now. Rosales has it. Wingington now. And Rosales again controls it, back to Fanning. Fanning gets past 2 Fire Ants players, looking to center it for Villanueva and Jackson. They're both in the middle of the field. Villanueva looking to chase this one down. And Brundage looking to keep it alive for the Wildcats in Fire Ant territory. Still has it. Great play there by Brundage to control that one. Still keep this offensive possession alive for the Wildcats. So Washington now, top of your screen, right in front of the Fire Ants bench. Rosales popped this one over to Wingington. Wingington short pass in the middle of Villanueva looking to get around. Gets past him. Faria comes up. Great save there by Faria, as he had Villanueva and Jackson both there. If he wouldn't have been able to control that one, that would have been an easy goal for the Wildcats. So USC-Sumter playing great defense here in those past 10 minutes. Wildcats, plenty of opportunities. We're just over 24 minutes of play in this first half. Score still 0-0. As Fire Ants have it in Wildcat territory, just over midfield. And Wildcat players down. And they'll get a foul there on the Fire Ants, as they tripped up Mascaron right in front of the sideline. So it'll be Brundage to take this free kick right in front of the Wildcats bench. He'll look to send this one deep middle, as he has Fanning, Jackson, and Villanueva all lined up there. Off the head of Fanning, Jalen looking to chase it down, but played out of bounds. So Wildcats will have a corner kick here. Again, Jason Rosales to take this one. So again, pardon the obstruction of view with the 2 goals here. Seeing the far side of your screen. And Rosales centers this one high. Quickly played by Faria. Faria looking down the field for his player, Bellamy. Bellamy wasn't even looking. Bellamy was hightailing it down the field. Didn't even look back for the pass. The Wildcats almost stole that one. Would have had numbers. The Fire Ants dodge a bullet there. So it'll be Fire Ants doing right in front of the score table. Get it in and back out of bounds. And now will we have our first substitution of the game for your Wildcats. And it'll be number 10, Pablo Moreira, checking in for your Wildcats. And he'll replace Jason Rosales. So we're about halfway through this first half. Still no score. Fusey controls it. Gets it over here to Salvaggio. Salvaggio looking ahead for Jackson, streaking. Marrera, first touch in the game. And that one off the head of the Fire Ants player, out of bounds. Jackson quickly throws it into Salvaggio. Looks to center and has Villanueva there. Turns around, but 3 Fire Ants players able to swarm on that one. Fanning still fighting for it, eventually controlled by USC-Sumter. And now eventually played over midfield by Pottery. Fanning middle to Fusey. Fusey looks to send this one ahead again for Jackson. Gets past the player. Jackson now. Great play there by Byard. Number 20, Blake Byard for USC-Sumter. Great defense there on the star Jalen Jackson. That pass by Acevedo way behind his teammate Belamy. Wildcats control now just over midfield. Jackson there, only the goal to beat. Gets it over him. And rolls right past the goal. Ooh, that was close. As the goalkeeper, Leo Farai, is still down. Now he's back up. Again, another close one for Jackson. Farai came up quickly looking to cut the angle off. Jackson just off his foot. Tried to get it over him in time. Does, but just a little wide to the left. So now we got another substitution for your Wildcats into the game. Number 14, Ariel Morales. He'll replace Connor Salvaggio. Just under 20 to play in this first half. Still no score. Villanueva and Jackson applying pressure to that back line. So now Fire Ants have it near side, bottom of your screen. That's Somoza. Back over to Morris. And this one's sent in. Fusey there again. Mascaron back to Fusey. Leaves it over for Brundage. Brundage looking ahead for Villanueva. Just a little bit in front of him. Brundage again has it. Fanning now. Back over to Wingington. Wingington has Morales here on this near sideline. Bottom of your screen. Touch pass to Mascaron. Back to Wingington. And Wingington will bring this one across over to Mascaron. Mascaron middle to Morales. Morales looking to get it past the player. Does. Finds Morales. Morera off the chest of Mascaron. Morales, far corner, keeps it in. Centers it short. Mascaron now controls it. Centers it this time off the side of Somoza, out of bounds. So another corner kick here for the Wildcats. Mascaron to take this one. So this will be, I believe, the 4th corner kick of this first half for the Wildcats. Mascaron's kick is high. Looking to be headed there by Wingington. This one eventually popped up over the net. So again, it'll be another corner kick, this time on the other side. And it will be Pablo Morera to take this kick. Referee talking to 2 Fire Ants players, telling them to get lined up where they need to be. 17:35 to play. Morera's kick quickly headed out by Fire Ants. Jackson looking to chase this one down. Reverses course, tripped, no call.
Come on, guys, come on, JT.
Fusey Leads one ahead. Washington there. Touch pass. Wingington middle. And his shot's high. Correction, that was Mascaron. That was Monir Mascaron, middle of the field. His shot on goal. Just high to the left. Almost stolen there by Washington. Furman now. Correction, Fanning. Working his way up. Looked to get past the defenders. Eventually played out. So Villanueva looking to chase it down. Trips the USC-Sumter player, and they'll get him with a foul. And the Fire Ants just a little too quick there on that free kick. Looking to catch the Wildcats off guard, but the referees blow it dead. Tell them to back that ball up just a little bit and reset it. 16-27. Still no score in this first half. 22, Alec Ochoa looking to fight off Morales. Ball middle of the field, controlled by Fanning. Mascaron now looking to leave one ahead. Headed down by Somoza. Eventually back to Marrera. Marrera looks one ahead for Fanning. Again, Ferrara quick to come up from the goal and control that one. And again, these Fire Ants are playing great defense on Jalen Jackson. You don't see Jalen Jackson without 3 Fire Ants players around him. Now Mascaron looking to leave ahead, and again Farais there. Quickly comes up to get that one before Jackson's able to get to it. Ball middle of the field now, just in the Fire Ants territory. Look to center it. Get it to Amores. Quickly cut off by Brundage, and ball rolls out. Gonna be a Fire Ants throwing right in front of the Wildcat bench, top of your screen. Now 15 minutes to play in the first half as the Fire Ants get that throw in. Fanning kicks it up, leaves one high. Mascaron heads it down. Look at the final Fire Ants player, leaves it for, they have Savaggio streaking. Savaggio lifts a shot off way too high. Again, great defense by USC-Sumter's back line. Ferrara definitely getting his work in tonight. And the Wildcats with plenty of opportunities. Shots within the box, corners, you name it. Wildcats definitely on the prowl, just unable to find one in the back of the net. So Fanning brings us one across midfield. Savaggio now has it. Leaves it ahead for Mascaron. Mascaron turns, working his way through midfield. Keeps going, gets it over to Marrera. Marrera now reverses field, looking for that far corner. Unable to get that to him. And now Brundage comes up to play that one, able to keep it in, top of your screen. Down that far line. Misplayed by Washington. Savaggio looking to clean that one up, but controlled by Bellamy. And it'll be a Fire Ants throw-in on this near sideline. And it appears we got a little family reunion right in the center of your screen. And eventually the ball's thrown in over the head of the Fire Ants player. Eventually played up by Amores. Mafusi able to quickly defuse that one. That one ricochets to the middle of the field. Marrera applying a little pressure on that back line. And Fire Ants now over to Wildcat territory. This one kicked out of bounds. Fire Ants will have a throw-in right in front of the Wildcat bench, top of your screen. Again, Fire Ants in red going right to the left of your screen 12:24 to play. Still no score in this first half. That ball's thrown in way down the line, headed down by Fusey. And this one played middle. They have Acevedo there, unable to find him. It's now played down by Byard. Quickly taken by Jackson. Jackson trips on the ball. Leaves it right for Acevedo. So Fire Ants working their way and slowly deep into Wildcat territory, but finally played out. Now Fire Ants again control it. And they're going to get offsides on USC-Sumter. That was Bellamy. Bellamy about a good 7 or 8 feet behind that defensive line of the Wildcats. Easy call for the ref there. So Little kicks this one. Little, as I said, really hasn't seen much action in this first half. Mascara looking to chase that one down. Slides past the goalie. Ferrari trips. That ball rolls out of bounds. Ferrari hops off looking to jog it off. So Ferrari definitely getting his work in tonight, as the Wildcats goalkeeper Kenny Little having a fairly easy first half. Not many, I believe there's only been about 1 or 2 shots on goal tonight for the Fire Ants. Fire Ants able to get it across midfield, but again, not able to penetrate the box, get anything close to the goal. Again, credit that to our back line of the Wildcats, led by Wingington, Fusey, and Brundage, playing a heck of a game. So now Farai again controls it, looking to send one for his players. Nobody in midfield. Jackson applying a little pressure there. Headed down by Brundage. And Fusey again. Fusey trips. And they're going to get the foul there on the Fire Ants. Good sportsmanship there by both USC-Sumter players. As it was a Morris tripped up Fusey. Comes over to see if he's okay. And we'll get a stoppage of play as Fusey works his way to the sideline. 9:49 to play in this first half. Still no score. And Fusey appears to be walking gingerly on that right leg. So Chris Garcia will be in the game to replace Fusey. So Mascaron sends it over. Wingington now. Wingington has Jackson ahead. And again, diffused out by Ochoa of USC-Sumter. Garcia and Savageau there. Fanny controls it, middle of the field. Center of your screen, working his way. Again, Garcia. Jackson tripped up, no foul. Play on. This one's short kick, middle. Bellamy able to get past 3 Wildcats. Still working his way deep in Wildcat territory. Wingington looking to cut him off. Bellamy still has it. Eventually played there by Mascaron. Great hustle there by Mascaron, able to cut off Bellamy. Marrera has Jackson there, headed up by Lunan. This ball's still in Wildcat territory. Mascaron again. Mascaron, another great game here, both offensively and defensively. Jackson looking to beat the goalie, looking to get past him, falls down. 2 Wildcats there, unable to get to it. Fire Ants again able to survive. Goalkeeper falls down, but saved there by his back lineman. So Fire Ants have it. Top of your screen, right in front of the score table. Now back to the goalie, Faria. Just under 8 minutes to play in the first half. This one's sent in deep. Looking for a Morris. 3 Wildcats around him. Morris still has it. Morris looking to get past. Shoots one. Right past Little, out of bounds. So Morris got around Brundage. Shoots one past him, but goes right past Little. Off the left side of the goal, out of bounds. So again, the score still remains 0-0. I would say that was the Fire Ants' best shot on goal of this half. Fading now. Leaves one ahead for Savageau. Savageau has Jackson streaking a little bit high. Played down again by the Fire Ants. Able to control it. As Harling gets around Morera and gets it over to the other side of the field. So still in that USC-Sumter back line, able to control it as Jackson still applying a little pressure. Somoza looking to control it. And they're going to get Savageau with the foul, tripping Acevedo. So it'll be free kick here, right in front of your screen, bottom center. And it'll be Alec Ochoa. So Ochoa looked to send this one deep. High kick. Played down by Bascaron again. Bascaron there on the defensive side. Playing great ball tonight. Misplayed there. Wildcats looking to chase it down. Jackson's there. Jackson going for the steal. Slides up, heads it down. Looking to get past. Gets around Ferreira. Just barely past the goal again. Jackson with another near goal. Jackson, 2 great opportunities in this first half. Still unable to find one in the back of the net. Score is still 0-0. 5:12 to play as Ferrari kicks this one. Short kick. Savageau's there off his head. Played again by Morera. Fanning plays it down. Works his way ahead. Jackson again. Splits 2 Fire Ants defenders. Looking to get past. Tripped up! And he'll have a free kick. Penalty kick here for Jalen Jackson. Jalen Jackson gets past 2 Fire Ants defenders, splits them, and then tripped up. So it'll be Jalen Jackson with the penalty kick here. 4:52 to play in the first half. Wildcats' best opportunity this game. Jalen Jackson with 26 goals on the season. Can he make it 27? Jackson still looking to shake it off. So Jackson won't take this penalty kick. And Bascaron's shot, and goal, and scores! Monier Bascaron, his 3rd goal in 3 games. Bascaron having a heck of a game here, both offensively, defensively. He's doing it all here tonight as he puts the Wildcats ahead 1-0. In this first half, 4:50 to play. Again, a recap of that sequence. Jalen Jackson tripped up in the box, got the penalty for the Wildcats, and Bascaron capitalizes for the Wildcats lead. So Fire Ants have it now, bottom of your screen. Maybe Acevedo now working his way middle. Fanning chasing behind him. Jackson here near sideline. They'll get that one out of bounds. And Somoza lays it down out of bounds. Savageau looking to pick up the ball to get it in. Finally gets it into Wingington. And Brenners will switch sides over to Bascaron. And Garcia finds Fanning middle. Played off his foot. Acevedo now has it. Washington there. Jackson again. Looking to chase that ball down. Puts pressure on that back line again. Somoza no choice but to kick it back to Faria, who sends this one. Garcia there. So Garcia leaves it back for Fanning. Fanning looks to pop one high, but Faria there again. Quickly out to his player on that far sideline. Top of your screen, Fire Ants looking to work their way across midfield. Gets it across now. Mascaron there again, back line. Mascaron, Brundage. Mascaron chases it down. This one kicked out of bounds by the Fire Ants player, so no danger there for Little. As we're just about to cross the 3-minute mark in this first half. Again, Monir Mascaron with the penalty kick to put your Wildcats ahead 1-0. So this one's still in bounds in Wildcat territory. Morera controls it. So Wildcats moving to Fire Ants territory now. Working their way to the middle. Has Jackson there. Jackson gets past everybody. Centers it. 2 Wildcats there. Bodies on the ground. Salvaggio plays it back. Wingington will come up to get it. Salvaggio spreads out on this near sideline. Centers it off the face of Somoza, out of bounds. So another corner kick here for the Wildcats. 2:17 to play in this first half. It'll be Morera to take this corner kick. So another great chance here for the Wildcats as we near the end of this first half. Can the Wildcats make it 2-0 as they go into halftime? We will see as Morera centers this one. Short kick headed out by the Fire Ants. And Wingington chases this one down as Garcia sends this one high, way over the goal. Almost out the back net. But nevertheless, that just kills the clock unless their back line able to get in position, as I'm sure the Fire Ants will try to attack here quickly. As we're at 1:30 to play in this first half. Faria sends this one deep. Headed out by Fanning. And again, ball still bouncing around. Fanning able to control it. Bottom of your screen. Gets it into Morera. Morera looking for Jackson. Has him. Jackson turns. Off of 2 Wildcats there. As they'll get a box out there from Lunam. And he'll let it roll to Faria, who sends one high out of play. Eventually in. Still headed around. Back into Fire Ants territory. 3 Wildcats there. Just under a minute to play. 54 seconds. Fire Ants player falls. No call. The Wildcats still have it. Now Fire Ants control it. Fanning falls quickly up. 38 seconds to play. This one's centered just across midfield to Rodriguez. So a Morris kick off the ref. Wildcats got another defender. 12 men on the field. And Jackson now. Jackson now looking to work his way, looking to get around the Fire Ants player, unable to get it between his legs. That ball roll out of bounds. Fire Ants, 10 seconds on the clock. And they'll just let this clock run out. And it'll be 1-0 heading into halftime. Your Wildcats lead. Again, it was Jackson. Had an opportunity, split 2 Fire Ants players. Got tripped in the box. And it was Mascaron who capitalized on the penalty kick to put your Wildcats ahead 1-0. We will be back in 15 minutes with your second half. Stay tuned. All right, we're about just under 1 minute to go here to start the second half. Get a scoring update from your first half. Mo Biscaron converts the penalty kick to put the Wildcats up 1-0. And also a scoring update on the Wildcat Sports Network. Your women's volleyball team is on the road at Bob Jones. They are tied 1 set apiece. Wildcats lost the first set, then came back and won the second set as they scored the final 5 of 6 points, taking the second set 25-23. Again, that match is set at 1 set apiece. If you'd like to catch that game, go on the Bob Jones Athletics website to catch that live stream. And you can go ahead, double screen it on your computer or tablet, wherever you're watching it. Catch our second half of the men's soccer game and your Wildcat volleyball. Both teams have switched sides here. Again, your Wildcats in white, Fire Ants in red. Wildcats now going right to left. Fire Ants going left to right. Wildcats will get the ball to start this second half. Fanning quickly to Jackson, over to Villanueva. Wildcats fast start. Jackson, middle of the field, working his way. Eventually fizzled out by the Fire Ants. Quick start for our Wildcats here. I take it they were a little bit frustrated, not getting more opportunities in that first half. 2 players on the ground, Villanueva and a Fire Ants player. They'll get a foul there on Villanueva. Some goalies still remain the same as Leo Faria for the Fire Ants and Kennedy Little for the Wildcats. Faria hits this one deep. And this is Isaiah Washington, number 4, black headband, into the game to start the second half for your Wildcats. Wingington, middle of your screen, gets it back to Fusey. In the first half, Fusey, Wingington, and Brundage, tough to get by as the Fire Ants only had 2 shots on goal. Really one great opportunity as one went right outside the hands of Little but rolled past the goal. Other than that, Little's had a very easy night, and I can't say the same for Faria, who's definitely been getting his work in tonight. So the ball top of your screen now. They'll get a foul on the Fire Ants. So Wildcats free kick just over midfield, right in front of the Wildcats bench. Again, top of your screen. If you're just joining us, it is the second half for our men's soccer team. They're facing USC-Sumter, currently leading 1-0 off the foot of Mo Biscaron on a penalty kick. 43 minutes play in the second half. And Wingington sends this one deep. A lot of Wildcats there, eventually headed out by the Fire Ants. And Brundage chases this one down. Rolls out of bounds. Wildcats will have a throw-in. On this near side, Brundage should throw it in quickly. Gets it into Rosales. Back to Fusey. Missed kick there. Wingington chases it down, has to recover, and he'll just play it back to Little. Little again, send it over to Wingington, far side of your screen. Good nifty move there by Marrera. So now Wildcats looking to play it ahead. Quickly stopped by Amores. So the ball still in Fire Ants territory. Jackson there, Villanueva. Eventually almost misplayed there by the back line. Villanueva applying the pressure there. And Morris gets it ahead to Bellamy. Off the rear end of Washington. Washington lost it in the air, didn't know where it went. Washington now looking to chase it down. Both Washington brothers in. Number 11, Imani Washington, and number 4, Isaiah Washington. Jackson has it now. Looking to beat the goalie. Ferrari quickly up to defuse that one again. Jackson there streaking ahead. Plenty of opportunities for the star, Jalen Jackson, in this game. Just unable to find the back of the net. So Fanning now works his way middle top of your screen. Now Fusey that looked to bring it across midfield. Fire Ants were there all over him. And this one mishit out of bounds, so it'll be a Wildcat throw-in right in front of the USC-Sumter bench. I think I'm just going to refer to USC-Sumter as Sumter. It's a lot of syllables to say really fast, so I'll just refer to USC-Sumter as Sumter from now on. A lot easier to say. So Sumter has it now. Quickly cut off the eye. Brundage. Brundage looking ahead. Now Morris. Played down by Villanueva. Villanueva, bottom of your screen. Works his way past Bellamy. Again, still has it, middle of the field. Eventually played out by Harling. Rosales, number 22, Jason Rosales. Again, bottom of your screen, looks to get it past. Rodriguez unable to, so Washington cleans it up. Rosales again, and he'll switch sides of the field. He kicks it over to Wingington. And Rosales there again. Fire Ants players screaming at each other. Where's communication as Ochoa falls down. Brundage, middle of the field. Centers one, looking for far side over to Savageau. So Fanning plays it down middle of the field, works his way past 3 Fire Ants. And a great sliding save there by the Sumter player. That ball center, Villanueva there, looking to get it over the goalie. And in! That was number 11, Amani Washington with the goal. Pops it right over the head of Faria for your Wildcats. Scores 2-0, 39 minutes to play in this second half. And they'll credit that assist to number 22, Jason Rosales. As he had a nice pass, getting it past all the Fire Ants defenders. Great position by Washington. Able to finish over the head of Faria for the Wildcats goal. The Fire Ants quickly across midfield into Wildcat territory, looking to leave it ahead. They have a man past, trips, and they'll get the penalty here. Was he in the box when the foul was called? Both teams pleading their case. And the referee is in position like it will be a penalty kick. Yep, it will be a penalty kick here for USC-Sumter. So that is number 22, Alec Ochoa, to take this penalty kick for the Fire Ants. Kennedy Little, the goalie. Ochoa's shot gets past Little for the goal. So Ochoa quickly answers back to the Washington goal. Still, Wildcats lead by 1. So again, a recap of that sequence there. It was a Sumter player getting past the Wildcats defense, tripped up just as he crossed into the box. And it was number 22, Alec Ochoa, who found the back of the net, getting it past the goalkeeper, Kennedy Little. The score is now 2-1, 7 minutes into the second half. So Savageau now, top of your screen, deep into Fire Ants territory, looking to get through everybody, tripped up just outside the box. Villanueva, and that was off the rear end of, I believe, a Wildcat player. So it actually is going to be off of Fire Ants player, so it'll be Isaiah Washington now, number 4, to take this corner kick for your Wildcats. Great action here to start this second half as the Wildcats quickly scored to start off this second half and then quickly answered by the Fire Ants. And no danger there on that corner kick as Washington sends it over everybody out of bounds, and Faria will look to send this one deep. This ball headed up, eventually played down, still up in the air, eventually played down by Villanueva. And Wingington able to control it, still cross midfield into Fire Ants territory. And that one kicked out of bounds. It'll be a Wildcats throw in right in front of their bench. So that one's still in front of the Wildcat bench there. Wildcats control middle of the field, pushing it to that far corner, top of your screen, left side. Centers one behind the goal, out of bounds. So Morris will check back into the game for Sumter. For a low kick. Left side of the field, nobody home from either team. That one just will roll right to his coach. I don't think his coach was very happy with that kick. So Savageau plays this one up. This kick there by Morris, and it's sent in deep by the Wildcats. Played into the back line. Washington looking to cut him off and get the ball. Villanueva again hawking the player down. Swarm of Wildcats here. Washington controls it. Looking for Fanning. Fanning, middle. Cut off there by Lunam. And again, played across midfield right to Fusey. Fusey went out the end of that first half with an ankle injury. Back in for the second half. Brundage twirls around, gets it over to Marrera. Correction, Washington. Washington now. Rosales. Rosales still able to control it. Gets it on that far side over to Wingington. And he sends it in deep, looking for Savageau. Savageau just a little far. So Fanning, touch pass to Savageau. Savageau, a little room to work with in that far corner. Looks to cut through the middle. Centers one. Off the Fire Ants player, out of bounds. And that was a great defensive effort there by number 4, Matias Rodriguez of USC-Sumter. Throwing his body in the lane of Savageau's kick. And that one pops out of bounds. So Wildcats now with a corner kick again in this second half. 34 minutes to play. Wildcats still lead 2-1. This one centered short. Popped up in the air. Faria bumps it out. Savageau has Villanueva on that far side. Wildcats still looking to keep it in. Eventually, this one's kicked out and over behind the goal. So a couple of games coming up for Johnson & Wales Wildcats. This Sunday, women's soccer will be here to play William Peace College. And on the 17th, both men's and women's soccer will be playing USC Lancaster. Men's play at 6 and women's play at 8:30. Is that shot attempt way over the goal wide by your Wildcats. And then on the 20th, will be a slew of homecoming games from all fall sports. We'll have men's soccer, women's soccer during the day at noon and 2, and then back at the Wildcat Center at 8 o'clock for volleyball. And then it will be senior night on October 21st for men's soccer. So there's some games to look forward to and catch on our network, or catch it live here at the Ortho Carolina Sportsplex. This ball rolls off the head of Savageau, able to play it down, control it. Still working his way through the middle. Cuts it upfield now. Has Villanueva there just in front of him. Brundage plays it off his foot out of bounds. Brundage not happy with himself on that one. Knew he could have kept that one in play. So it'll be a Fire Ants throw in here as Wilson quickly gets it down the line. Headed up by Brundage. Washington able to clean it up for him. Fusey and Brundage again in the middle of everything. Rosales able to control it. Finds Washington. Center your screen. Washington looking to keep it in bounds. Does, but gets it right to the Fire Ants player. And it's now Harling working his way. And Little will get the easy scoop there, and he'll send it long. Has a man streaking down the far side. Nobody in front of him. Savageau working his way up. Looking to get chased down by Sumter. Two people there. Ball in the far corner now, and Fanning unable to get to that one. And that's actually Jackson in that far corner, just outside of his reach. And number 3, Luke Wilson, will check in for USC-Sumter at the 30, with 30 minutes to play in the second half. Wildcats still lead 2-1. So Fire Ants with a free kick just on their side of midfield. Referee telling them to place it about 3 feet back. And now Fire Ants will look to center this one deep. They got everybody top of the box. And he hesitates as he heard something from his coach. So he'll think about it again, what he wants to do. And they short kick it over here to Wilbur. Wilbur looks at the high kick on that far side. Wildcats able to sniff that one out. They had a good setup there as they wanted to quickly get it in to the player in the middle of the field and send it long down that far sideline, hoping to center it, but great defense by the Wildcats as we got Jackson streaking, tripped up. No call, play on. Fire Ants control it. Fans here calling for a foul, saying if you're going to call it down there, you got to call it here. Nonetheless, Villanueva has it. Working middle. Jackson again. Jackson looks to get over Faria. Great save by Faria. Wow. Jackson unable to get it over the outstretched arms of Faria. Able to pick that one off on the fingertips. What a save. Washington plays it down. Jackson leaves it ahead for Washington. Washington works his way up. Washington again, number 4, black headband. And this ball is out of bounds quickly for a Wildcat throw-in. Gets it into Jackson. Jackson looked to get it between Wilson, but Wilson slid knowing he was going to try to get between his legs, and great defense there again. Fanning looking middle. Villanueva there as well. Fanning has it. Looks to pop one up in front. Villanueva chases it. Quickly out of the box by the Fire Ants defense. So Rosales now looks to wind one up again. Short pass over to Washington. Washington gets tripped up. Still no call from these refs. Villanueva looking to work. Almost had a crease there. And a soft kick right at Ferrara. Able to control it. Quickly over this player here. Misplayed there by Washington. Brennan is able to clean that one up. He's working it up the sideline now. That's Rosales right at midfield. Fans calling for a foul on Harling. He clearly grabbed Rosales and moved him out the way, but no call by the ref. Ref on the sideline had a clear angle to see that, but didn't call it. So referees obviously letting each team play a bit here in the second half. So this ball switched sides. Washington looking to sneak up and get the pass. Just in front of him, Harling now centers it as the Fire Ants get it across midfield. Wingington comes up, collides with its teammate, but cleaned up by Fusey again, sends this one high. Jackson there. And they'll get an offsides call on the Wildcats. 26:50 to play in the second half. Wildcats leading 2-1. Again, women's volleyball on the road to play Bob Jones. You can catch that game live on the Bob Jones Athletics website. Catch all your Wildcat games here on the Wildcat Sports Network. Ortho Carolina Sportsplex, your home of men's and women's soccer, and the Wildcat Center Gym, hosting all our volleyball games. Again, tell your friends, tell your family, check us out on the web. So Washington now deep in Wildcat territory to his brother Washington, and played ahead, eventually back in, again in Wildcat territory. It's Bellamy now. Bottom of your screen, working his way past Washington, looking to get past him, centers one, and that ball rolls past everybody. Great save by Little! Great recovery, Little couldn't find it. Able to finally get to the other side of the goal to save that one off his knee out of bounds. Again, Fire Ants with a great opportunity there, but an even better save by Little. Little had a hard time tracking that one as it went through about three players' legs, and finally able to find it and knock it away. So this one centered high over everybody, played down by the Wildcats. Rosales will boot this one ahead. He has Jackson and Villanueva there for the Wildcats. Again, Jackson falls, no call. Referees are letting them play in this second half. It was in the first half where they were calling it pretty tight. Couldn't really get a hand on nobody without them calling it, so kind of a different style of play in this second half as it's kind of amped up the scoring again. Fanning on the far side, looking for Savageau, quickly cut off by Sumter. Two players there in front of him. We cross under the 25-minute mark in the second half of play. That ball kept in by Savageau, looking to get around the Fire Ant player. Still on that far side, eventually rolls out of bounds, so Wildcats will have a throw in. And we're going to get a substitution here. This will be Gunnar Tootle substituting in to replace Connor Savageau. Gunnar Tootle, long blonde hair, tied up, it's hard to miss him. He'll be throwing it in now for your Wildcats. 24 minutes to play in the second half. Play stop for the refs to get their thing situated as UNC-Sumter quickly gets their last substitution in. So now play resumes. Tootle gets it in. Looking to find Jackson. Ball in the far corner. And eventually booted out by Sumter. So another Wildcat throw in here. This one, Wingington to take it, gets it into Tootle. Back to Wingington. Tootle again, sideline into Rosales. Looks to center it, has a man there. Three Wildcats in the middle. This shot off the back. That was Zelnick. Out of bounds, so another corner kick here for the Wildcats. And it appears that is Rosales to take the corner kick again for the Wildcats. This one high, centered in front of the goal. Faria comes up, hits it out. So now 2-on-2 match. Great position by Amani. They'll get Bellamy with the offsides. Bellamy doesn't like the call. Clearly offsides. Fans starting to give Bellamy a little heck on that one, saying, "Don't whine, Bellamy, don't whine." I believe that was our women's soccer player, Danielle Doyle. She can be a loud one over here on the sidelines, definitely. Giving players on the field some heckling. So now they're going to issue a yellow card to USC-Sumter. I believe they're going to get the coach. I can hear the coach screaming from here. I don't know what he's saying, but he's definitely yelling at the ref. I don't think the head coach liked that offsides call on Bellamy, still giving the ref heck about it. Nevertheless, it'll be a yellow card on the Fire Ants. Fusey, short kick over to Wingington. And he sends it this near sideline to Washington. Amani, that is. Over to his brother Isaiah, back to his other brother Amani. And this one off the head of the Fire Ants player, out of bounds. So it'll be a throw in here after we get a couple substitutions for your Wildcats. So it'll be Weeb Isaac and Mo Bascaron checking in for your Wildcats. Mo Bascaron getting the first goal of the game for your Wildcats off the penalty kick in the first half. So Weeb Isaac is the second leading scorer on this team. He has 11 goals on the season. Again, Jackson leads the team with 26. Also leads the USC by a long shot with his 26 goals on the season, is 58 points. Fusey takes it himself across midfield. Back to Washington now, controls it. Fanning there. Fanning still looking for the ball. Eventually played out by Rodriguez. This ball still in Fire Ants territory. Wildcats still looking to control it. The Sumter head coach yelling at his players, "Get the ball!" Sumter head coach screaming at the top of his lungs at his players. Just under 20 minutes to play. His team down by 1. Wildcats leading 2-1. And it's Pottery pass right over to Washington. So Washington has Jackson ahead. That ball ricochets off right to his brother. So Sumter 1-on-3. Not the opportunity they like to see. They don't have the numbers. But Morris is looking to make it work. Great save by Little. Off his hands, out of bounds. So another corner coming up for the Fire Ants. As that was Marco Morris with a 1-on-3, looking to get past all the Wildcat defenders. Gets a little angle on him and shoots one at the goal. Little able to knock it away pretty easily. So it will be a corner kick here for USC-Sumter. So Sumter had a slew of substitutions there. This one, low kick, quickly played out by Fusey. Weeb Isaac there, just into the game for your Wildcats. So Brundage looking to chase this one down, and he'll just kick this one out of bounds. And smartly plays it off the sideline, not the back line there, so it won't be a corner kick. It'll be a throw-in. Just about 5 foot from the corner. Quickly thrown in. Centered there, and Fusey again gets that one out of the box. Isaac now works it ahead, has Mascara on. Mascara looks to play it ahead, has Jackson, man to beat! And Faria comes up to get that one, controls it. Jackson finding his spot here in the second half. Had a couple of opportunities getting behind the defense, just unable to come away with a goal. Score still remains 2-1. Just over 17 minutes to play. Wildcats have it on their back line as Brunner sends this one across midfield. Now deep into Fire Ants territory. Sumter head coach telling his players to run. Just get up the field and do something. Again, Sumter with a 6-game losing streak coming into this matchup with the Wildcats. And now the Wildcats have numbers. Ball in the far corner, top of your screen, left side. Wildcats working their way in the middle, still in the corner. Tootle looking to come up and chase it down, but that one's knocked out of bounds. And we got a Fire Ants player down. We got, I believe it is Harling down in that far corner. And number 10, Pablo Moreira, back into the game for your Wildcats. Getting a big round of applause from your audience here. So as I was saying, yep, Sumter on a 6-game losing streak. They're at 2-9 on this season. I can understand why the Fire Ants head coach is a little bit angry at his players. He just wants to win. So the ball still in that far corner in Fire Ants territory. Eventually kicked high in the sky. Fanning plays it down. So Fanning works his way up the middle. And Faria quickly gets that one off the ground. We're about to cross the 15-minute mark. Mascara comes to play that one up. Falls right over top of the ball, but gets it over to Tootle. Tootle leaves it back for Mascara, able to cover up his tracks. Works his way across midfield. Leaves it ahead for Tootle right in front of the Wildcats bench. Sends it down the sideline. Has a player there. This one kept alive on that far sideline. Centered in. Over the head of Faria. Faria collides. There's a Weeb. Faria and Weeb exchange words. And they got Weeb with the offsides cause. He was going in to beat Faria. Let's try to score. And if you can hear, that's associate head coach Kev Summers, back from a 2-game absence as he was over in Europe. And he's back now on the sidelines for your Wildcats. Again, this season, it was assistant coach Kev Summers, but now promoted to associate head coach for your men's soccer team as Fanning works his way in the middle, eventually slid down by Fire Ants players. Fusey controls it, gets it again over midfield. Fire Ants look tired out here. All their forwards, hands on their hips, walking slowly, head down. Not the body language you want to see from your players if you're a head coach, knowing your team is just one goal away. I mean, they're still in this game. And shot there over the goal. Oh, another great opportunity for the Wildcats. Wide open on that shot, sends it high. And a Wildcat player went to head that one, falls on his back. He got up on that jump. And he fell down, just landed right on his back. I know if that was me, I wouldn't be able to get up. Got some tough players out here, definitely. A lot of players fighting through small injuries here and there. Bad ankle, bad knee. Wildcats are definitely a tough team, able to compete in this USC-AA. Isaac almost got the steal. He would have had room to work with. He would have got that. Fanning now, middle, Rosales. Bellamy still works it up for the Fire Ants. Isaac now has Fanning ahead, looking for Jackson. Unable to get it in front of him. Jackson still working at it. Man, that was a great pass by Isaac. Jackson just unable to get it right in front of his foot to get past him. So it's Tootle now blazing up that sideline. Centers one back over Isaac. Rosales there. Rosales leaves it ahead for Washington. Looks ahead for Jackson. Gets it past the goalkeeper and scores! Jalen Jackson. His 27th goal on this season. So Jackson, behind the defense all game, just unable to get a score, finally finds the back of the net as he gets it past Faria. And Bosquero takes out Jackson on the celebration. Wildcats team definitely fired up now. They lead 3-1. 12 minutes to play in the second half. So Fire Ants control it now, middle of the field. It's Bellamy again. Harling now leaves it ahead for Bellamy. Has Brundage on his hip. Brundage still fighting for the ball. Great defense. Again, you got to get a lot of credit to this lead by our Wildcats back line with Fusey, Wingington, and Brundage. And it's now Isaac. Oh, offsides, just barely. If it wasn't for Ochoa coming up to play that ball short, Isaac would have had a one-on-one with the goalie. Again, just unfortunate. Ochoa barely crossed in front of him, making Isaac offsides. So now Faria getting his players lined up top of the box, looking to send this one deep. Sends one high, middle. Fusey again there. So Wildcats now. Isaac leaves one ahead. Trips, unable to chase it down. So Faria controls it again. Jackson there applying a little pressure. Faria trying to get around Jackson. Dangerous play by Faria. Boy, that was risky. Rosales looking to get it behind Faria. Oh, off the goalpost. Wow. Jackson looking to chase it down. Faria there. And the score by Weeb Isaac. What a sequence of events here for your Wildcats. It was Rosales looking to beat Faria over his head. Off the goalpost, Jackson there, cleaned up by Isaac for this goal. Your Wildcats lead this one 4-1. 10:33 remaining in the second half. Wildcats definitely hyped up now. Crowd definitely into this one. Their team leads by 3. As you hear our women's soccer team cheering on the men's soccer team here. And now we're going to have a goalie change here for Sumter. As number 1, Aaron Griffin, will come in to replace Faria. Faria giving up 4 goals on this game. So Fire Ants have it now. Down 3. Their coach has gone silent, sitting on the bench, wondering what his team can do to get out of this 7-game, well, 6-game, it's about to be 7-game slump. And Wildcats player trips, no call, play on. Quickly diffused there by Wingington. Isaac ahead. Isaac still applying defensive pressure there. And that one off the foot of Harling, out of bounds. Washington to throw it in. Fans chanting, Weeb, Weeb, Weeb. I gotta say, Weeb is a fun name to say. And Weeb Isaac He's a fun person to be around, too, always smiling. And you know he's going to be smiling after he scores in this game. Tootle blazing up the sideline again, showing that speed. Leaves one center, nobody home. Eventually, Sumter plays it out. So now again, controlled by Brundage. Leaves one ahead for Tootle again. Has Mascara on there, right in front of the Wildcats bench. Plays one in. Jackson there, unable to get it to him. Isaac heads one up. Isaac and Jackson. Isaac tripped up. Free kick here for the Wildcats. Isaac tripped up just outside the box. So literally just about 4 foot outside the box. Free kick for the Wildcats. Munir Bascaron to take this one. His Wildcats leading by 3. 8:52 to play. Mascaro lines it up. Mascaro getting his team set. Mascaro now sends one at the goal off the head of his player, Isaac. Not sure how that's how they drew that one up, but nonetheless, Fire Ants dodge a bullet. And the fresh goalkeeper, Griffin, yelling at his players to get down the field. Griffin still giving it his all, trying to get his players to do the same. So Fanning has it middle, gets it across midfield on that far side. Top of your screen, Bascaron takes it, stops, reverses, gets it over to Tootle. And Bascaron back midfield to Fanning, up to Tootle. Tootle looking middle for Rosales. Great pass to Morera. Looking ahead for Jackson. Would have had him again if he was able to get past him. Tootle middle of the field, gets it. Tripped up, able to stay alive. Looking to chase the player down, does. Great speed there by Tootle. 7:30 to play. Wildcats still lead 4-1. Ball bounces past Fusey, and Fusey will pop it up over to Bascaron. Bascaron looking to fight off 2 Fire Ants, getting bumped side to side like a ping pong ball. Eventually stays upright. Morera looking to send it ahead for Jackson. Jackson looking to beat the goalie. Tripped up there. And they'll get the foul call. And again, it'll be a free kick just outside the box. And are they going to call this one in the box or out of the box? Griffin pleading his case like they didn't like the call. And they're going to say it was in the box, so it'll be a penalty kick here for Pablo Morera. So another chance here for the Wildcats to go up 5-1. Again, it was a Jackson who drew the penalty inside the box. And Morera to take the penalty here. Morera lines it up. Sends one. Great stop there by Griffin. Almost went through his legs into the goal. Able to recover it. So 2 Wildcats fight for it there. And they get the foul call on Bascaron. And we got some more substitutions in. So that one's setting deep in the Wildcat territory down that far sideline, top of your screen, right side. Played out of bounds. Not a corner kick. But it'll be a throw-in right outside the corner. 6:22 to play. This one thrown in deep. 4 Wildcats there to play it up. And we got an update for your women's volleyball.
Substitution check
Your Wildcats lost the third set 25-20. Wildcats now find themselves down 2-1 against Bob Jones. Again, catch that live stream on the Bob Jones University Athletics website. It'll take the Wildcats' effort to force a fourth set and eventually win that one to get it to 5 to win that game. Meanwhile here, just about 5 minutes to play. This one's set in by the Fire Ants. Headed up, played down by Brundage. Brundage leaves it ahead middle. And Weave, Isaac on the move. Isaac showing that speed. Gets past the player, looking to get past him again. Looks to center, went right at the goalie Griffin. Griffin falls on it, controls it. And that's Mascaro controlling it right in front of the Wildcats bench. Back to Tootle. Tootle will work his way back to his own territory, control it. Mascaro now looks to center one high. Griffin there bumps it away. This one sent up high, lost in the lights, out of bounds. And that one over the fence. So, as you see, student assistant Brandon Bird hopping the fence, showing that athleticism by the student assistant. That fence is about 6'5", I would guess. Hopped over it like it's nothing. Jackson, meanwhile, works his middle. Stolen by the Fire Ants. Blamey ahead again. And they got a man. And Seth Green. Played out by Fusey. Fusey again with the hustle on the defense. Huge reason why your Wildcats lead 4-1. That back line has been staggering here tonight. Eventually a stone wall in that back line. Fire Ants, luckily, to get anything in the box. Can credit that to Fusey, Brundage, and Wingington. Great defensive effort by all three of them. Brundage and Wingington have played all game. Fusey, mostly all game, went out near the end of that first half with a little bit of injury, but he's back in. Jackson now, room to work with. Jackson, green grass. Centers one. Oh, just out the corner, right side. Out of bounds. Jackson trying to pin that one right in the corner over the hand of Griffin, just high. 2:45 to play in this one. Wildcats leading 4-1. I doubt this score will change much. Wildcats control it, get it across midfield. Isaac there again. Isaac stops. And it rolls out of bounds. Isaac was looking to center that one. Would have had Jackson. And I believe it's Marrera there too. Correction, Garcia. It was Jackson there. Chris Garcia. Great centering shot. Would have gave them both great opportunity. So Isaac again looking to chase it down the corner. And lets it roll out of bounds. And they're going to say off the Wildcats' foot. Just under 2 minutes, 1:50 to play. Griffin set to boom this one deep. His team down by 3. It's going to take a miracle for Sumter to come back in this one. And this one's sent high in the sky. Off the head of a couple Sumter players. Eventually played down by Marrera. Has Garcia ahead. Leaves one looking for Jackson. Stops. Middle of the field. Almost between all three defenders there. Eventually ricochets out. And Morales looking to chase it down. Gets the throw in. Gets it in quickly to Brundage. Brundage reverses field over to Bascaron. 1 minute to play. Tootle chase it down. Sumter controls it. This one's sent into Wildcat territory. Again, Brundage there. Morales has Jackson ahead. Jackson looking to beat Griffin. Griffin backs up. Jackson reverses course. Eventually played out by the fire ants, kicked off the foot out of bounds. So Morales runs over quickly to get it in. Jackson gets up. Jackson looks to center right behind everybody, just outside the box. Looked like Marrero wanted to catch that one. Gets his hands down, plays it in, and they'll get a foul on the Wildcats. 12 seconds to play. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's the end of this one. Your Wildcats defeat USC-Sumter 4-1. It was Mo Bascaron starting off the scoring for your Wildcats as he converted a penalty kick in the first half. And then quickly in the second half, it was Amani Washington putting the Wildcats up 2-0. And then USC-Sumter quickly returned that goal, keeping it within 1 off the foot of Ochoa. And then Wildcats went on to score 2 more goals, extending their lead to 4-1. So we will be back here on Sunday as your women's soccer team plays William Peace. That game will be at 3 o'clock here at the Ortho Carolina Sportsplex in Pineville, North Carolina. I'm your voice of the Wildcats and your host tonight, Kelly Turner. This has been a fun one here. Thank you for listening, and have a great night.